What's up, people? You're watching Brudsy Entertainment. I'm joined by a very special guest from across the pond. Goes by the name of JD, and also Summer Rose on her OnlyFans new adventure. JD, what's happening, girl? What's up?
Oh, not much. I'm just over here in beautiful British Columbia. How are you doing, friend?
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to give me a 1 minute introduction into your life. Just tell me a little bit about you. 1 minute.
Oh, my life is so exciting.
Mm,
So I'm just a Canadian girl. I am living in British Columbia. I love the outdoors and hiking and doing all that kind of stuff. But I gotta hold it down for the 416 because I'm originally from Toronto, born and raised, Scarborough, and I love my home. I love my city. But when you get older and you want to do different things, you gotta leave the nest. And yeah, British Columbia is where it's at. My day to day, I am a beer sales rep for a craft brewery. So I'm just like out there hustling and trying to get people to buy some beer, which is really fun. Get to socialize and meet a lot of people.
wow.
You want me to for 1 minute?
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That was interesting. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm always interested when people say they do sales because I've done sales before. I've done street sales, and I know that's a proper grind. That's a proper grind, and you need energy. Sales in general, if it's direct sales, then it's a proper grind. So how do you find doing that, and how do you keep yourself motivated? Like when you there's a lot of rejections in sales as well.
Yeah, I think that like the company that I work for, people love the product so much that it basically sells itself and
Mhm.
I have to like be really great with my relationship building and customer service and it's pretty much like I don't want to say it's easy because there's sales targets and everything, but um you put in that work and the activity and you grind it out and just kind of happens and it's so fun. I mean, it's beer. It's beer sales, right? It's not like
Yeah.
car or something like that or insurance. It's not boring.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so what I like to do is get my guests to talk a little bit about their upbringing. Just tell me a little bit about your upbringing, like the fun times, the bad times. Mate, floor's yours.
Okay. So I grew up in a predominantly white family.
Wow.
So um just a single mom and yeah, we just did our own thing until I was about 5 years old and my stepdad came into the picture. He's from Newfoundland and they had two kids, so I'm basically the only black person in the family. Um that was
Wow.
hard for me.
Wow, I can only imagine. So obviously, some people might not realize, but JD's obviously biracial. Her dad is a Jamaican man, black man, and her mum is obviously a white, lovely lady from whereabouts was she from? Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Okay, so I mean, there's loads going on right now in terms of like biracial people, just talking about the day-to-day challenges. Just to tell us a little bit about the challenges you face as a youngster, obviously being biracial.
Yeah, I feel like there's that big thing about acceptance, like feeling accepted even within my family with having all the step parent and like the step grandparents and my white siblings and never really feeling like I was a part of that family and kind of feeling outcasted and I went to a Catholic school where it was pretty much all white kids and I was a pretty curvy kid growing up, like
Okay.
I always had like little booty and all of the things.
Hmm.
And yeah, I hated that. Like I always wanted to straighten my hair. I would hate like wearing anything fitted. Like I just didn't embrace being biracial at all. Like at all.
Wow, that's amazing. And I can really resonate with that story. We'll talk a little bit. It's your interview, so I won't go into it a little bit too much, but it's your interview, but your story. But I mean, when you say you felt outcasted, you felt like you weren't. Did your family? I mean, was there any negativity put towards you for your color, or was it just a way of just something you felt inside?
Yeah, I think in terms of my family unit, there was never any negativity towards my color, but I just felt like the stepchild. And then I think out in the world, there was definitely negativity towards my color for sure. Like kids would say racist things to me all the time, but not even realizing that they're being racist and making me feel uncomfortable.
Hmm. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. One of the big thing is, but one of the big things is that like obviously some white people they feel comfortable. They will feel comfortable talking to someone that's biracial about something that's borderline racist or racist, but they'll feel very comfortable talking to you about it. So I don't know if you've had any experiences like that.
Oh, for sure. Even now, like they'll ask me if it's okay, like if we're socializing, they'll ask me if it's okay to say the N word in front of me, and like how do I feel about that, and am I gonna get upset? And it's like it's a hard question to answer, right?
Hmm.
Like if you're like singing a song and you're being chill about it, personally, I'm okay with it. But I think sometimes when I give that almost that permission, they start being super negative and saying things they shouldn't be saying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I mean, that's so challenging. I mean, because even as a black person, even as I said, I honestly I class by in the UK we class most of us class biracial people. I would just say if I saw you, I would say you was black. You obviously you're mixed, but this is what I would say the classic answer because my children are mixed as well. So this is what I would tell my children to say. You're obviously a mixture of two halves. So there's no doubt in that. But society is going to treat you as a black person no matter what shade you are, you're gonna get away with. You might get away with a little bit here and there. Some people might, see you as white, and you'll probably have that experience where some people see you as white.
Yeah.
But society as a whole is gonna see you as a black person. So it's
Yeah.
easier for you to just identify as black and just say you're black. Obviously,
Yeah.
you don't be ashamed of either side. We've got
Yeah.
everyone's got loads of mixes in us. That's what I would say to my girls. Just and my kids and my son as well. I would say, look, you're black. Society's going to treat you as black.
Yeah.
There's no in between there. There's no getting around it. So just face it. Accept that society's going to treat you as black. You're obviously mixed, but
Yeah. And that's because I actually never put it into perspective like that, because even right before you said that, I still struggle with what I identify as. But you're totally right. Like that society is going to treat me like a black person. That's what I am. That's what I should go with. But can I tell you a funny story?
go for it.
Can I tell you a funny story? Okay, so I went to Mexico in January. And you know how when people go away, they get their hair all braided up while they're on vacation?
Hmm.
Sorry, I have a little cold.
No worries.
Um, I've never felt comfortable to get my hair done in like the cornrows when I'm on vacation,
Hmm.
because I felt like I wasn't a black girl and I wasn't allowed to do that, and I was like taking that away, even though like I should be allowed to do that, right? Or
No,
like
no matter. Yeah.
it was making it a big deal. Like, no, I shouldn't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. So when I went to Mexico, I went on the beach and I had them do my hair, and like it was so liberating. I loved it. I friggin' loved it. It was amazing. But
Well,
it's sad that
that
I
that
felt
that when you say that, that is extremely sad. And honest to God, that is extremely sad for someone, and you're 32, and for someone that's like, for me, like, you should have been, obviously, it's very difficult as well. I can't even comprehend it because you've been brought up in a fully, like, you've only been the only sort of like black sheep, so to speak, in that sort of bunch. And I said that is, you can't blame some people for how they get. You've been brought up like that, so you're gonna have like you've got you've got the problems of not wanting to offend like a white person would, and also
yeah,
not identifying as black, so you don't have that. You've never had it your whole life, so
yeah,
that's very challenging, and
yeah.
it's very important that we hear these stories. But for me, but you've never had, but like I said, I know you said your dad came into your life when you was 5, but I don't know if that meant that you had loads of black people influencing you around you, sort of showing you like what the cult, like introduced you into the culture and all the rest of it. It doesn't sound like it that you had, but you tell me.
No, I mean I did have my biological father around when I was about the age of 16, but at that point I was already 16,
That's a point. Oh, bless you.
late, and I've had friends who are like a quarter white, and they've kind of been like, don't let people your hair, you don't know anything about your heritage, and just being so negative and making me feel so bad because I don't know enough about my background, and I'm just like, you know.
I think people say that like you don't know enough about your background, don't know enough about your culture, but that's kind
Yeah.
of overrated. We're Westerners now. We're Westerners.
Yeah.
Our culture's Western. Like it's like you could say that to 90% of black people. You don't know about your culture. Honest to God, you could say that to about 90% of people that are blacker than my top, that they don't know about their culture. So that's a cop out. I wouldn't honest to God, I wouldn't listen to anyone that says that to you. What you can do for your what you can do for a public and better nice image for identifying as black or whatever you identify as is just be a good person, and then when people see you they're like, wow, that person's really nice, because people's
Yeah.
ideas can change on people just by meeting someone that's really nice. It's like in my life I've met so many white people that are like, they're like, wow, you're one of the nice guys, you're one of the nice guys. And I'm like, I accept it for what it is, but I also try to like pull them up on it. Like sometimes I'm not pull them up as it why I want to have like a debate or anything. Just sort of like, you're one of the nice white guys I've met as well. Because I've met some really shit white people. So
Yeah.
so you have to be able to flip it. But I feel, I think something that's very very important for black men. I will dig out some black men, like if you're out there and you're having babies with white women, you have to fall through. You have to that's a commitment. It's not an easy thing, because bless you, you're at 6 till 16. You've gone through stuff the way you needed a black man to put a black dad or a black father figure to put his hands around you and say, don't worry, dumpling, you're beautiful. You've needed that. So that's a big message out there for some of you black brothers out there, just hitting up and going, but you can't do it. It's a
Yeah.
commitment. No matter what happens, you don't like the woman, you use a condom. You just sex for you use a condom. There's no
Yeah.
free banging and then not looking after your children, because you have beautiful girls like this, have to go through 16 years without a strong father figure, putting their hand around them, looking after them, telling them it's okay, like fighting your corner for you. Your dad should have been there for you. So it's very upsetting to hear that sort of thing. You mentioned straightening your hair and stuff like that. When did you actually do you feel that you started to embrace the curly hair? Because
Oh,
it's
sure. Yeah, yeah.
tell me about that, girl. That's what I want to hear. Tell me about that.
I feel like even into high school, I straightened my hair a lot. So probably after high school is when I started to like ditch those standards of looking a certain way
Mhm.
and just embracing my curves and wearing my hair curly and like not really giving a fuck
Mhm. Mhm.
about what I think. And um gosh, like I hate to say it, but now when being biracial is like a cool thing, and like that's kind of fucked up. But
Yeah.
oh, I hate even saying that. But now it's more accepted to like have a booty and tits,
No,
right? And
I know exactly what you mean. Obviously, like back in probably when you were growing up, it was all skinny girls. That's the image. The image on TV was skinny white girls, no bums,
Britney
no
Spears.
boobs, no bum, no boobs, blonde hair, and that
Yeah.
just
Like the only person I had to identify with back then was Scary Spice from the Spice Girls. Like I love Mel B. I love Mel B. Okay, but like that's all I have. At least the girls nowadays, like your daughters, they friggin' have princesses and
yes,
like
we
like
do, we do.
TV shows on Netflix now, like with main characters being biracial. Like I'm so happy for the girls now
Well,
for what.
yeah, that's definitely yeah, and I think it's very important that you do more videos on that on your TikTok, because you can help a lot. You can help a lot of girls with that, because there's so many girls every day, not feeling like they can identify as who they are, and even like with the progression that's happened in society over like it seems like overnight nearly, with Meghan Markle, she's obviously like a princess
Yeah,
now. She's a princess in the UK now. Obviously, there's a certain bunch of people. The UK has we have racism in the UK, but the racism in the UK is you would laugh at it. It's like people just like them people that just like want to make stupid awkward comments, and it's like it's very covert. It's all covert racism, and so people will make up any excuse. People will find something deep down in the past where she did what she done when she was a baby, to have an excuse not to like her, because in their head a princess and royalty is white people, and that's the bottom line. People don't want to accept that, but there's a lot of people that can't accept Megan because they just look at her and say she does. No, that's not what a princess looks like. We've been growing up our whole life, and princesses are blonde with blue hair, and they have long.
Yeah,
You know, that's bottom line. What's stuck in their head? It's not, and they'll find like I've seen people enraged by her, and I'm like, what has she actually done? I'm like,
I know.
what has she actually done? I'll let you.
Yeah. And how upset people got about the Ariel thing, the Little Mermaid.
Oh my god, it's so sad, isn't it? That's so sad.
So sad. And I was watching all the video clips of the little like black girls and mixed girls, and they're like crying when they see it on the TV. I did. I cried a little bit. I was
Uh,
like, oh, how can anyone have any hate towards that? Like,
you
the
know,
not a real show. It's a Disney movie.
and the thing about it is, it's just these people, they need therapy, and they haven't faced the realities of their upbringing and how they've been brought up, and and their stereotypes and their actual racism that they might not even be aware of. That's within them, and I think that can resonate with a lot of people. It's not just white people, so I don't want to put that in there.
Yeah.
It's not just white people at all. People have that racism. People have that in them, and I'll reverse it as well. I remember there was a theatre play, Othello, and there was outraged because obviously they wanted to cast a white guy as a
Mhm.
fellow, and
Okay.
obviously he's a black character, and
Yeah.
then a lot of arguments were came up for that. So there is a lot of back and forth, and we can't just. It does seem sometimes it can seem like we're just jumping on white people and picking on them for like not for like things they might say and my opinions they might have. But black people have reverse opinions just the same. Asian people even especially, so it's not just white people. So white people, you're okay, okay. But yeah, we went off quite a little bit there. Went off all
Uh,
sad, but it was good to get
that's good. That's good.
it went off. Started all sad and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move into the relationship chat now. Relationship.
Relate.
I'll let you explain this relationship status that you have.
Okay. I would say my relationship status is like separated, like co-parenting, all love
Hmm.
in the same. um I lived a pretty traditional marriage from the age of 24 to now. Well, I guess it's been about 2 years, so since I was 30. So yeah, completely monogamous, traditional marriage. But sometimes things change. So we decided that we're gonna open our marriage up and give that a try. And it's definitely not the easiest thing, but um,
Hmm.
yeah. At this point, I would say like we're more just doing our own thing, and
Yeah.
that's the path I'm on right now.
Is this your baby's dad? Is it or?
Yes, yeah,
Okay. I mean, that's good. That's at least we're good, because sometimes what happens in relationships, like especially with guys, and it happens with women as well, but women are a bit more sneaky with their stuff. Like women will be like, "You want to sleep with another woman? I'm outraged," But and then but then what
yeah.
in the back of their mind they're like, I need to get some of that Brudsy over there." No, my joke.
I see you.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
uh, yeah, it was actually my idea, and um, let me just tell you, like when I turned 30, that was a game changer. Like I don't know if any woman has ever told you that, but when you turn 30, just like shit changes in your head, in your hormones. Oh yeah, and I was like, let's open this shit up, babe.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Without sounding bad, do you feel that you weren't I don't know, you weren't getting like I don't know, you weren't getting the goodies properly. You weren't getting it properly.
Yeah, like you could say that.
Yeah, because I think a big thing for women, and women stay in relationships for years where they just let a man, the sex is their man gets on them, jumps up and down for a little bit, finishes, and then sex is over. And a lot is so weird, but so many women have it like that. So many women, especially if they're with like I'd hate this term at the minute, but it's such a buzzword, the high value men, as you've probably heard all over America now. If they're with them, then it is literally about the men. It's all about the man, basically. So they don't ever get to experience like the fun stuff and the play experience with their bodies, and play around, and obviously maybe try out some new flavors, some new colors and stuff like that. That's always a changer as well. I don't know if you've had that experience
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. I mean, I've like had some experiences here and there.
Okay, 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 okay.
I
What's
just like fun and enjoy life and kind of live in the moment. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Not for too long, I hope though. Have your fun, and then time to, because obviously.
Oh, like, and because I'm a mom at the end of the day, and like I
Mhm.
have a whole career. Like I'm not just out there.
And it's good that you have
Being,
that. It's good that you have that sort of side agreement with your partner, because, and I honest to God, I think a lot of couples and a lot of relationships would last longer if people were just honest enough to come out and say that. Honestly.
yeah. But instead, people lie and they cheat and they're deceiving,
Or that,
and it
or
those
that,
people judgmental.
yeah, or the women, or you see the women and they're just unhappy. They're just really
Yeah.
unhappy all the time. It's like they say they want to be the wife, the housewife, the good girl, all the rest of it, but they're unhappy doing it. But in their deep down inside, they want to do other stuff. And there's a lot of people like that. And the hard truth is sometimes better than for a kid. You have to kind of, you can't. It's no point banging your head against a brick wall every day. If you're not happy, you're not happy. But most of the time, it's like you have to actually kind of know what you want as well, not just be unhappy about nothing and say and think, oh yeah, if by going to sleep with a couple of guys, whatever, there, I'm gonna feel better about myself. Because 9 times out of 10, when women do that, they feel shit about themselves. They obviously they feel shit. They like, I've been, what the fuck was I doing? In the emotions, and I'm pretty sure everyone's been there. What the fuck was I
Oh,
doing?
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So a question I ask everyone: something you wish you knew now. Um, something you wish you knew now that you didn't know 5 years ago.
Something I wish I knew now.
That you didn't know 5 years ago.
Something I wish I knew now that I did. How come I don't know why I'm not like make having this make sense.
Okay,
Fine.
okay. Let's just say like 5 years ago, something that you
Yeah.
knew, something that you knew now would how would that have helped your life?
Oh, probably just um not just embracing who you are and being confident um can really open a lot of doors for you. Like just be yourself, don't worry about what anyone thinks, because like having that attitude is actually going to like lead to good things for you.
Definitely. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna make an excuse for myself. It's 20 to 5 in the morning in the UK, and this lovely lady is probably, what are you, 9 o'clock? Is it not even 9 o'clock yet?
Yeah.
Isn't it 9 p.m.
No,
for
it's not.
her? So yeah, she's fresh and I'm not fresh. I'm not saucy as I normally am. But yeah, bad choice of words. Okay. We will move on to this new venture of yours, the sensation which is OnlyFans. Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about your thinking behind joining OnlyFans.
What am I thinking about joining OnlyFans? Um, I don't want to give pictures away for free anymore.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Fair.
No, like people pictures all the time, and I'm really comfortable with my sexuality, and I like taking pictures and doing stuff like that. Like I have friends that are like, "Oh my god, you do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's empowering for me. I enjoy doing it." So I'm like, "You know what? Let's just give this a try, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be like upset about it?"
Okay, okay.
So, yeah,
Is
I
your
want to like buy the things I want to buy and put money towards things and you know.
Yeah, and I was speaking to you slightly off air about this. People are giving women like a very hard time over like joining OnlyFans, trying to make them feel bad. But I am saying like women are turning to OnlyFans because they feel like they can't turn to a man anymore, or they feel they don't want to rely on a man anymore. So I don't know if you feel any sort of resemblance towards that at all.
Yeah, I would say both of those hit for me. Like um just meeting somebody so young, I was never truly independent.
Mm,
Like I've had jobs, but I've never truly had money that was just mine. And making money, yeah, just like having my own kind of business thing and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Have you started uploading content yet on your OnlyFans at all?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
it's yeah, it's super basic though. It's not
Okay. Is it a free
a
page or is it a subscription page now?
subscription page.
Okay. And what's the price of this lovely subscription?
$8?
So guys, this girl's trying to save up for a brand new car. Make sure we hit over to OnlyFans summer./rose, and this girl likes to show pictures, So just imagine it, guys. Imagine Summer Rose sending you pictures. Okay, cool, cool. So are you prepared for the ups and downs, the negative, the negativity coming that could come towards you, the effects on family and stuff like that, relationships? Have you thought about that and everything?
Um, I feel like the relationship part will be fine, like my home relationship part, but yeah, I definitely haven't really yeah, I haven't considered the other negative stuff, like how it could impact my job and
Yeah, I think
how my family and everything. So
Yeah, I think that's a very important one. I mean that's a very important thing to consider as well. Obviously, and I'll talk to you privately about what I'm doing with a lot of people at the minute that's not so out there and obviously very profitable in terms of like, but doesn't require like the full on sort of like stuff that a lot of girls are jumping in. I'll talk to you a little bit about that.
yeah,
Hopefully get you into my little gang. Um, but yeah, I think it's like it's admirable in the end of the day. And some like as a man, there's been times in my life when I've had responsibilities and I've not been able to do it. And if those options were available to me then, I like women have it, I would have done it within a heartbeat. I would have said, fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm doing it for my kids, I'm doing it for my family. So no matter what people say when they're trying to put you down, you're not doing it because you're not doing it for fun. You're doing it because of the life is hard, and you guys are in America, and the medic, like, you have to pay for everything, don't you? Like medic, like
yeah, it's expensive as fuck.
do you know that I saw a stat that I think it was Bernie Sanders said it. America is the only free, like only big country in the world that has people going bankrupt over NHS bill over medical bills. People are like, if you go to the doctors and you break your arm, like how much is that? How much would that cost you? Like that's insane. Even
Yeah,
I heard you even have to pay. I heard you even have to pay if you give birth to your child, you have to pay. I heard that. I couldn't believe it.
yeah. No, we're lucky where we live, right?
Okay.
We're Yeah. At the end of the day, though, the OnlyFans things, like I have zero expectations at this point. I'm just doing it for fun, and whatever happens, happens. Like if it takes off, cool, side hustle, awesome. If it doesn't work out, no sweat.
Mhm. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
I'll see if
yeah.
I can speak to you about that off air, and maybe change your thinking a little bit about that. Yeah, change. We want to make money over here. We want to make money.
Okay.
We want to make money, people. We need that $8 every month, okay? Yeah. So, all right, this is just gonna be fun, 5 minutes, fun, chill chats. We can go back at each other, back and forth with each other. I'm gonna let you start. You can ask me any question you want, and this can just be funny, and this is just a chill vibe part of the conversation.
Um, what was your favorite movie when you were in high school?
Okay, when I was in high school, it was probably Friday. Friday, Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. I would probably say Friday.
Okay.
I'm a bit older than you, so so.
I know. I was just gonna say, okay, like we probably wouldn't have liked the same movies, which is totally fine. Because mine was definitely like Save the Last Dance. That was my. That was
No, no, I love that film when it came out, but I love that film when it came out. But I think for
my,
my I'm like 10 years old, 8 years older than you, so I know I don't look 8 years older than people. Let's be honest over here, but yeah, I'm 8 years older than you, so I'm not 7 years older than you. So yeah, Save the Last Dance when it came out, that was a banger. To be fair, I actually really enjoyed that movie. Okay, cool. Okay, that was your question. My question. I'm making this run. I make this interesting. What's your worst sexual experience?
oh gosh. I feel like my worst sexual experience probably would be when they like finish after like fucking like 10 seconds, and then they're like the guy was like, oh, don't worry, like I'm good for round two. And then so like we go round two like a couple of minutes later, and then he also finished really fast for round two, and I was like, wait, what? That's it? Like I thought when things were supposed to pick up, you know?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I would say that's probably
Mhm.
the worst. Yeah.
Guys, yeah, we get to a certain point where it's like, especially older guys, like, we get to a certain point where it's just like, it's about the nut rather than the everything else. And
Oh
um
yeah.
it's
I just chose the wrong friggin' guy. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And obviously as well, a guy that actually likes you is gonna make sure you're happy. Like I've mentioned, I speak to this loads of times before. It's like, if a guy is actually feeling you proper, like a proper guy wants to, feel that you're happy, you've done your job, he's done his job with you, you've had your end, and then he gets his end afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm a pleaser first, okay, people.
That experience was like more at the start of my open situation. So like I've come so much farther now where like I'm not really putting time into people like that.
That's a bad choice of words. You've come so much further under the circumstances, but
Like some time has gone by and I'm just making better choices, okay?
fair enough,
That's
fair
what I
enough.
meant.
I would say as well, I would add as well, women can be very, unless you know what you're doing, which takes a little bit of time and patience, women can be very hard to please sometimes if you don't know. If you don't
That's
know,
true.
if you don't know and you haven't think, because it's like, women can be like, they could be thinking about a bad day they've had shopping or something like that, and the guy's trying to have some fun with you, and they're like, still can't get it out of my head. No, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Like they'll let their mood dictate.
The
Whereas
guys properly and we stop thinking, then that's when it's a game changer, right?
fair enough, fair enough. So we have to get guys that can change a woman's mind and change her thinking. I suppose it is easily done once but it's experience. You have to go with experience, guys. If you go with younger guys, then their end is literally just trying. They're happy. They're just in there. They're happy. They're in there
Yeah.
getting that.
Like the young guys, like they love us 30-year-olds. I don't know what it is. They're like,
Well, 30-year-old women are like, they're adventurous. They're a bit more adventurous, and
yeah,
I don't know, it's just different. Women as they get older, they treat you better. It's weird. That should be a quote. Women as they get older, they tend to treat you better. When girls are young, it's like,
we don't.
no, I'm just pretty. Hey, I'm pretty. I'm pretty. You better be
Yeah,
happy. You better be happy to be up in all this. And but then as
yeah,
they get older, they're like, the the clock's obviously ticking on women a little bit more than it does on men, because
yeah,
obviously you need to have made the right choices, at the right time to sort of bag the prize almost. So obviously the time still, you still got time, girl. You still got time. So don't
yeah.
stress. Don't stress. Don't stress.
Thank you.
Don't stress. No need to buy a cat yet.
Thank you. I'm allergic as fuck. So
Fair enough. All right. We have 2 more minutes left. Your question. Remember what I did to you, so you can do it to me. You can put me on the spot, whatever you want. Any question. 5 minutes open. Anything you want. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I ain't gonna bite.
um, have you had any sexual experiences with men?
What the heck? No. What the actual heck? No.
Ways or would you be down to do that? Like, would you do a threesome and like be okay with there being another guy there?
Um. I mean. I mean. if you want to, in my younger days, me and my friends used to do stuff with girls all the time, but
Okay.
there was never anything with a guy. I never thought, damn, boy, there was anything like that
Okay.
going on. So I suppose, yeah. So I probably there's no in my younger days I had no problem. Like me and my friend used to do
Yeah.
stuff like that to girls all the time. So um,
So you've never in your adult life with like you and another guy and a girl?
no, 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 not at all.
No.
No, I was in a relationship for a very long time. So I'm sort of just coming into the candy shop now, kind of, and it's
Uh
the candy's becoming like a pick and mix, and the candy's become all sorts of lovely
yeah.
flavors and stuff, and wrappers and all sorts of lovely things going on at the minute. So yeah, and yeah, I think I've answered your question. I will ask you a question now. I've got
Okay.
one more question each, and then we will wrap it
Okay.
up, and then we'll have a little chat off there and see what's going on.
Okay.
Question for you. Okay. Um, Describe your ideal man. This is not really a question. I would like you to describe your ideal man right down to the last cent. So, color, height, education, finances, right down. We're gonna start with color. What is your type of guy?
Oh, Caucasian.
Okay, you like the white guys? Okay, okay.
Yeah, but also down for anyone, really. But I guess that's like usually what I go for, or like
Yes.
Scandinavian. I like a Viking looking kind of man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
She likes the white guys. There's nothing wrong with that, people.
Yeah.
Don't penalize people for their choices. We don't do that. Okay, a white guy. How tall does he have to be?
Oh, got like 6 foot at least.
Six
But
foot.
I've like dated guys that are shorter for sure. I'm not one of those women that are like, if you're 5'8", I'm not gonna talk to you. Like, no,
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
You're 5'5". Okay, so I think anyone over like 5'8", 5'10" is going to be reasonably taller than you anyway, especially if it's like a decent
Yeah.
build and stuff, you know. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's not too bad. Okay, finances. Where does his finances have to be? Your ideal guy.
Um, I think because of the kind of dating I'm doing, like it's not really a priority that they're like fucking balling. But if they're gonna like pay for the date and they're not like loserish, you know what I mean? Like, do they have a car? Are they respectable? I think, are they motivated and looking to the future?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not just chilling at home playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's actually a really nice answer because you know some women would be like I've heard some women you know I don't know if you, on a lot of other shows a lot of women they go straight in for a number they're like you got to be earning 100 grand a year or something like that and then you
Who
know
am I? Like that is crazy. I don't know.
yeah. So, but you seem like you're wanting some guy just to you're looking for this knight in shining armor kind of guy like that ticks all the
Yeah.
boxes. You seem like that, and it doesn't seem. And to be fair, you're not asking for a lot. You're asking for a guy that's got a job, that's got a little bit of ambition. You just don't want a bum. I think you've dealt with a lot of bums, a lot of like kids that have just been like maybe and the thing is as well what you have to be very careful with is obviously some people just want to fetish over you, sort of like they've never been with a person of color.
Oh yeah, I've run
They,
into that before.
they've never been a person of color, and they just want to fetish with you, sort of thing. And
Yeah.
this is one of the things that I spoke to my daughters recently about. I said to them, um, like a white guy, if you was to line up a million white guys and you asked them what their ideal woman is, I would probably say about a very high number, maybe even I would go as far as 70% of them people would probably say they want a white woman. They would probably say that. I would probably say that. Like, and
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure if you look at the stats, I would say at least 70% of white males would prefer a white woman. So what I said to my daughters is, you date who you want and you go with who you want. But this is the thing. If you if you prioritize Caucasian men, if you prioritize it,
I,
you're gonna get
yeah.
rejected by
Yeah.
70% of men. And what that will do to
You're,
you is that will destroy your confidence. So it will
yeah.
destroy, and I know you're resonating with this all already, but this will
Yeah.
destroy your confidence. But I think you needed your dad to tell you this when you was like younger as well, but obviously you wasn't there. And
Yeah.
and you're a product of your environment. So if you grow up around white people, fully all white people, no black people at all, then that's what you're gonna go.
Mhm.
That's what you're gonna go with. There's nothing wrong with either way,
Yeah.
but there's nothing wrong with either way. There's nothing wrong with your choices. But I was just like to my daughters, um, how do you feel about if you were to choose to go out of like choose white men over black men or whatever? How do you feel about 70% of them thinking that you're not worth a relationship? Almost that you're worth, and I've seen beautiful biracial girls, mixed race girls, beautiful with guys, and after a little bit, the guys go cold shoulder on them because, and then they end up leaving them for a white girl, and this is the experience that they have because 70% of them would prefer to be with a white woman. And also, I don't know, I don't, well, I would say black men are a bit more open. Black men just want a nice woman. Like, a lot, black men get a lot of shit for like going with white women and every other woman other than black women. But what I think about black men is, we just want a nice woman. We don't care what color you are. We generally don't care.
But
Some do. Some black men do. 100% do. But most black men that I know brought up in London, where I'm from, You know, we were just brought up around people, you know. So if someone's nice and they're vibing with you, then we're going with that, you know. So I went on a little bit. I'd want you to jump in and go back or come back on that.
I feel like now, just with everything I've learned over the past few years, is that like I'm not so much looking for the visual. I'm all about like the vibe and the conversation and how we're getting along. And like, you don't have like, if you're charming and you're good at talking and you're nice and you're friendly, like that's gonna turn me on as
Hmm.
well, you know?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
that works for me too, you know?
Hmm. And I'm sure you've heard the term whitewashed bounty coconut. You've heard all that before. And the 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 what's the word? You know what's meant by, obviously, yeah, when people say that, like black on the outside, white on the inside, and stuff like that. Do you understand what I mean by that? You,
Kind of.
Okay, so basically, I'll just layman's terms it very quickly. Some people are called bounties because obviously they're black on the outside and they're black on the outside, but on the inside they basically think they're white and they act white, and society they've been brought up white, so that's just how they've been brought up. So that's what some people would be
Yeah.
calling a bounty or a coconut, or
Okay.
I think you guys in America call them coons, but in America they call them coons or whatever, but based on the movies. Um, yeah, I was just going to break into it. I can't remember what I was going to say, but I was going to tell you a story. It's about this. I'm in where area where I live in the UK now. It is predominantly white, and I met this mixed race girl. I didn't meet her as if like I wasn't even chatting her up. She was with all of her friends. She was at a nightclub, and she was on her own and she was already isolated. So I just went up and said, "Oh, you're right. Let me buy you a drink." And the first thing she said was, "I don't like black men." And I was like, "Okay." I'm like, I'm not trying to chat you up. I have no interest in chatting you up. I've seen you just stand. Your friends are talking to someone. They're talking to my friends, and I've seen you stand on your own. I just wanted to buy you a drink just to be nice and be happy. But like, she was so adamant. Like, she was just like cold turkey. Nah, I don't like black men. Blah blah blah. And I was like, this is what you would call a bounty, or this is what they would call a bounty. Someone like that sort of thing. Someone that doesn't like, someone that doesn't, just like accept the reality. But the funny part of this story was I saw her one day when I was actually a doorman in a nightclub, and she was crying, and I was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "What's wrong?" And she said, "Some white guy called her the N word." Some white guy called her the N word, and this was soul destroying to her, because it's like she had been living in a bubble her whole life where she thought she was white. And
Yeah.
this is what I said to you. I know you resonate with a lot of what I'm saying, but this is something that I say to people. No matter what, if you're mixed race, people, society is gonna see you as black. Doesn't matter, not
Yeah.
white, not white. Slightly better than black in most of their eyes, but not white. That's how they see you. So this girl had this soul destroying moment where this white guy called her the N word, and she didn't know what to do. She was like devastated by it. She was like, she even said to me, "I'm not even black." And I was like, I don't know. Someone should have spoke to this girl before. Someone should have given this girl Someone needed to drop some game on this girl and explain to her life and how it works. But I don't know if you want to even come back on anything I said there.
No, no, you helped me with that tonight too, just
Wow.
learning all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just so you know, if you walked up to me in a club and asked me if I wanted to buy a drink, I would have been like, "Yes, you're fucking so cute and I love your beard." Like
Mm.
actually,
Bradsy got game
it's
out
a
here, yeah? Bradsy got game out here. You're making me blush.
just so you know, I would yeah,
Fair
let's
enough.
get a drink.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Never know. You never know. I might have to travel across the pond one day for a drink. You never know.
We have some poutine.
Okay. Um, but yeah, Jade Summer Rose on OnlyFans, guys. Make sure you check her out. I'm gonna help this girl with her socials as well. We're gonna blow her up all over social media. Make sure you guys check her out. I'll leave the last words with you, my dear. What would you like to say?
Um, Thank you so much for your time, and it was a pleasure talking to you. I think you're friggin' awesome, and I'm looking forward to talking to you some more after this. Thanks, guys, everyone who's gonna watch. Thank
Cool.
you.
And for anyone that's a bit nervous about having these chats and having an interview with me, what would you say to them?
I would say don't worry about it. He's super friendly and he's gonna make you feel comfortable, and you're gonna have a lot of fun.
You heard it there, guys. Brudsy Entertainment. Everyone have a fabulous day. Peace.